everyone. I am Nazal Siparani. Today, I will discuss to you about the principle of management. So first, what is a principle of management? It is actually manage, that is, get things done through or other individually in the groups or an organization. All activities plan and organize or control the operation of the basic elements of people, materials, machines, methods, money, and markets, providing direction and coordination and giving leadership to human efforts. Next. So the next is management. So according to Parker Follett, is an art and science of getting things done through the effort of people. So management itself, the word manage, it is manage the people, money, organize, or an event, or even the business. Next. So next is what are managers. So a manager is a person responsible for the planning, organizing, leading, and controlling an organization. Managers do not spend all their time managing when choreographers are dancing apart. They are not managing, nor are office managers managing. They will personally check out the customer credit. So, manager, siya yung namamahala. Isang taong namamahala sa isang company. And also, a manager is responsible for a part of a business and organization. Next. Empowerment is a process of enabling or authorizing an individual to think, behave, take action, and control work decision-making in autonomous ways. In this case, managers can authorize and giving power to their employees, letting them decide what is best for the organization based on its goals and objectives. So example of empowerment is simplify giving employees as a voice in important decision that could affect them. And also, example of empowerment in the workplace means enabling employees to take ownership of their work and contribute to meaningful decision making. Next. General managers. So when we see general managers take direction from their top executives, they must first understand the executive's overall plan for the company. Then they set specific goals for their own departments to fit in the plan. So when, for example, of general managers might have to increase certain product lines and phase out others. The most described, I think, the most described this general manager as their goals clearly to their support staff and the supervisor manager see that the goals are met. Next. Function of management. So, management has been described as a social process involving responsibility for economically and effective planning and regulation of operation of an enterprise and the fulfillment of given processes. So, according to Jarvis and Jerry, there are four functions of management: planning, organizing, and actual controlling. Then, according to Henry, to manage is the forecast and plan, to command and control, whereas Leather Creek has given the keyword. So, kay Leather naman, nagbigay siya ng keyword about the function of management. So, P stand for planning, O stand for organizing, C stand for staffing, and G stand for directing, and the last is con stand for controlling. So, para mas madali siyang intindihan or maalala ng isang tao, so, pinaikli na lang niya. So, Posticon. So, ayan po si Posticon, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. And next is planning. What is planning? It's a basic function of management where it gives future course of action and deciding in advance the most appropriate course of action for achievement of determined goals. So planning, according to Consi, is planning as a deciding in advance. It tells us what to do, when to do, and how to do. So planning is necessary to ensure that proper utilization, human and non-human resources. So when you say planning, so it is important in our life para maayos or madaling gawin yung isang bagay or para alam mo kung anong next step mo gagawin. So lahat dapat is may plano. So organizing. Organizing, it is the process of bringing together all the assets of the business, either physical assets, financial, and human resources, and developing productive relationship amongst them for achievement of organization goals. For example of organizing is preparation of accounts, making values, record keeping, and quality control, inventory control. Next. Staffing. So what is staffing? This is function of management gives importance to the human capital of the organization. Its purpose is to man an organization structure and keep it manned. So, for example of staffing is, these are recruitment methods include interacting and screening potential candidates. Directing. It is a function of management which activities the organizational methods to work efficiently for achievement of organization purpose. It is also considered life spark of the enterprise which is set in motion the action of people because planning, organizing, and staffing are the mere preparation of doing the work. So for example dito is the supervisor guides his subordinates and clarifies their doubts in performing the task. It will help worker to achieve work targets given him. So, di ba? may planning ka na, may organizing ka na, may staffing ka pa. So, kailangan mo din siya ng directing. Kasi kung walang directing, so, hindi mo alam kung plano ka lang ng plano, organize ka lang ng organize, staffing ka lang ng staffing, then wala ka namang directing. So, wala rin siya. Wala rin siyang gamit. Is less, hindi mo rin maaayos yung isang pagpaplano mo. Next is, ayan, so directing has the following elements. Supervision. So, when we say supervision is the act of watching, directing, and workers. So, meron din motivation. So motivation is means inspiring, stimulating, encouraging, and the subordinates with desire to work. Positive, negative, monetary, or non-monetary incentives may be used for that purpose. And the next is leadership. The purpose by which manager guides and influence the work of subordinates in desired direction. Communication is the process of passing information, experience, opinion from one person to another at the bridges of understanding. So, ayun, nakalagay na dito kung bakit ka magkakaroon ng isang directing. So, nakalagay na din supervision, motivation, leadership, communication. That is the most important. Hindi pure planning lang, organizing lang, and staffing lang. Next. Controlling. So, this is the function of management that evaluates the performance of the organization. So, for example, sa controlling schedule and deadline management, employee training, performance evaluation, adjustment to budget or staffing assignment or resource allocation. So, kailangan may control ka din sa pagpa-planning, sa mga staffing, sa organizing, and sa directing. Kasi kapag nasobrahan, baka masira lang. Diba? Control. Next. The role of manager. Manager assumes that multiple roles as an organization according to Mason-Hurst. There are 10 roles of command to the work of managers. As summarized in the following figure, the 10 roles individual into 3 groups: interpersonal, informational, and decisional. The informational roles link at all managerial work together. And the interpersonal roles ensure that information is provided. The decision roles make significant use of the information. The performance of managerial roles, the requirements of these roles can be played at different times by the same manager and to the different degrees, depending on the level of function of management. The roles are described individually, but they form an integrated whole. So, may role din talaga ang isang manager para maayos ang isang business. Hindi pwedeng lahat siya ang gagawa. Next. In the figure below, show the 10 managerial roles. So, mayroon pong international, may interpersonal, informational, and decisional. So, magkakaroon din po ng feedback, provide information, process information, and use information. Sa interpersonal, meron figurehead, letter, liaison. Sa informational naman, meron siya monitor, dismonitor, and spokesperson. Sa decisional, meron entrepreneurial, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and negotiator. So, kung makikita mo, meron paghahati sa kanila. So, kasi hindi naman pwedeng iisa lang ang gagawa. Next. Pag sinabi interpersonal category, meron siyang figurehead. So, as a manager, you have responsibilities. A manager is expected to be a source of inspiration. People look up to you as a person with authority as a figurehead. Pag sinabi kasing figurehead, yung example po dito is the representative of the company in a employees within or a business. The second example is if a retiring businesswoman promotes her son to be a new CEO of her company while putting a different person in charge of running the business. The son is just a figurehead. The word figurehead comes from original meaning, the figure's curve at the front of all the sailing ships. Next is leader. This is where a manager provides leadership for your team, your department, or your perhaps your entire organization, and is where you manage the performance and the responsibilities of everyone in the group. So, syempre, kailangan din natin na magkaroon ng isang leader. Kasi kung lahat magde-decide, kung lahat leader, walang mangyayari or lahat walang magagawa. So, sa isang group is napaka-importante ang magkakaroon ka ng leader. Next, liaison. The manager must communicate with internal and external contacts. You need to be able to network effectively on behalf of your organization. For example, an individual working as a hotel manager holds to have a function that requires extra shifts, so which is an act of a license. Okay. Next. So, next is informational category. Sa informational category, first is monitor. Is this role manager regularly seek out the information related to your organization and industry, looking for relevant changes in the environment? You also monitor your team in terms of both their productivity, and their well-being. So, pinaka-importante ito yung monitor. Kasi, syempre, i-check mo yung mga kasamahan mo sa isang trabaho kung nagagawa ba nila ng maayos or nagagawa ba nila yung assignment nila ng on time. The next is disseminator. When you see disseminator, this is where as a manager communicates with a potentially useful information to your colleagues and or your team. For example, think of military commands briefing his and her troops about the battlefields critical mission. The next is spokesperson. Spokesperson, manager, represent or speak for their organization. In this role, you're responsible of transmitting information about your organization and its goals to the people outside it. So, may tagapagsalita. Hindi kasi pwede lahat as magsasalita ka. For example, sa isang organization nyo, may pumuntang mag-interview. So, ang haharap lang dapat doon is yung tagapagsalita nyo. Hindi pwedeng lahat kayo is magsasalita about sa company nyo. Siguro it depends na lang kapag nag-request ang isang interviewer na lahat kayo magsasalita. So, lahat kayo interview. Pero sa isang business, kailangan talaga is meron spokesperson. For example na lang sa isang sa government. Sa government, meron lang tagapagsalita doon na kung ano yung sabihin ni President. Siya yung kung ano yung gusto sabihin ni President sa isang environment, sa isang company. So, siya lang yung mag-deliver. Siya lang yung magsasabi. Yan. Next. Decisional category. Entrepreneurial. When we say entrepreneurial is as a manager, you create and control change with the organization. This means solving problems, generating new ideas, and implementing them. Next, the disturbance handler. When organization or team has executive roadblock, it is the manager who must take a charge. So when we say disturbance, for example, taking corrective action when needed to solve unexpected disturbance. Next, resource allocator. It involves allocating funding as well as assigning staff and other organization research. Pag sinabi kasi natin resource allocator, example is being responsible for the optimum allocation of resource like time, equipment, funds, and also human resource, so etc. When you say negotiator, you may be needed to take part in direct important negotiations within your team, department, or organization. For example of negotiator is may help law enforcement agency resolve a hostage or crisis. The role of negotiators is as a contract. So parang siya yung nakikipag-negotiate sa ibang company. Next. So there are 3 types of managerial skills. Meron technical skills, human relationship skills, and conceptual skills. So pinaka-importante sa isang business. So next is what is technical skills? Manager must have the ability to use the tools, procedures, and technical of their special areas. And accountant must have expertise in accounting principle, whereas a production manager must know operation of management. The next is human relation skills. So dapat marunong ka din ng isang human relation skills. Involve the ability to work with people and understand employee motivation and group processes. These skills allow the manager to become involved with the lead his group. So pinaka-importante din ang human relationship skills. If you are a leader, dapat you know how to communicate with your groups, with your employee, if you're a businessman or woman. So dapat alam mo ang nangyayari sa isang employee mo. Kailangan makipag-communicate ka sa kanila. Then bibigyan mo sila ng motivation. Hindi pwede work lang kayo ng work sa isang organization. Kasi kung work lang kayo ng work, so mawawala ng gana, may posibilidad na babagsak yung isang business mo. So dapat, kailangan mo din bigyan mo sila ng motivation, communication, para maayos yung isang business nyo. Next is conceptual skills. Pag sinabi naman po natin is conceptual skills, these skills represent the managers' ability to organize and analyze information in order to improve organizational performance. They include ability to see the organization as a whole and understand how the various parts fit together to work as an integrated unit. Next. Management levels and the organizational hierarchy. So dito meron executive management, middle management, first line management, and the rank and file employees. Next. So ayan, magkasunod-sunod. So una dito is executive managers. When we say executive managers are the top of the hierarchy, are responsible for the entire organization, especially strategic direction. So siya yung nasa top kasi siya yung dapat na mamahala at may pinakamataas na responsibilidad sa isang organization. So, siya yung pinaka-nasusunod sa lahat. Next is middle managers. So, pangalawa siya. They below at the middle for the hierarchy are responsible for a major departments and may supervisor and other lower level managers. So, pangalawa, first line managers. They supervise, rank, and profile employees and carry out day-to-day activities with departments. So, may 6 M's of management. So, first is management has different elements to consider to reach the goals and objectives of an organization. The 6 M's of management, namely manpower, method, machine, material, market, and measurement, is always intertwined with the 6 M's of production, which has the same concept. So, ayan ang figure below, such the 6 M's of management. Makikita natin siya yung market, machine, material, method, measurement, and manpower. So, pinaka-importante siya sa isang business. Kung wala to, wala kang business, hindi magiging successful yung isang business mo. Next. So, when we say manpower, it refers to the functional labor of people engaged in the delivery of production and service. So, syempre, sa isang business, kailangan mo talaga ng manpower. Sila yung tagagawa ng isang produkto mo, or hindi lang tagagawa, sila din yung, for example, sa isang mall, diba, maraming manpower doon. So, sila yung nagsisell stock. Next is method. Refers to systematic process of the business making us reach organizational goals and objectives. Siyempre, kailangan mo ng method kasi kailangan mo ng isang organizational goals and objective. Next is machine. Refers to physical assets of the business, such as their physical facilities, tools, equipment employed for the managing operation and processes. Siyempre, kailangan mo din ng mga machine, mga equipment mo sa isang business. Kasi kung wala ka nun, is anong gagamitin ng mga tauhan mo or ng mga employees mo. So para mapadali is kailangan mo rin ng isang machine para mapabilis. Next is material. Refers to the raw materials, consumables, and components used to justify product and services delivery. Siyempre, kailangan mo ng mga material din. Then, market refers to the target market, customer, or consumers where the production and service is given to. Siyempre, kung halimbawa, isang product mo, may product ka na. So, kailangan may isang target market. This is measurement. This refers to the inspection, quality and quantity checking of products and service. It also refers to evaluation of performance of the assets of the business. Siyempre, measurement, kailangan mong i-measure yung product mo kung quality ba siya, quantity ba siya, diba? Para maayos yung service mo, maayos yung business mo, mas maraming bibili ng isang product mo. Next. Planning. As a function of management, all business firms would like to be successful, increase their sales and earn profits. All managers dream of this, strive to achieve their goals. But to turn these dreams into reality, manager needs to work hard thinking about the future in making business, prediction, and achieving targets. So, pag sinabi kasi natin planning as a function of management, syempre, kailangan mo talagang magplano para ma-achieve mo yung gusto mo, maging successful ka. So, halimbawa, nagpaplano ka ng, kailangan kong maging successful yung isang business ko. So, alam mo na kung anong next gagawin mo. So, pinaka-importante is as planning. Next, so, importance of planning, nakalagay na dito, is first is planning provides direction. Syempre, ito is important. Yung pagpaplano mo, kailangan, alam mo kung saan papunta. By studying in advance how work is to be done. Planning provides direction for action. So, syempre, pag nagplano ka, hindi puro plano lang. Syempre, if you want to plan, syempre, kailangan mo ng direction. So, paano ba to? Ano mangyayari dito? Next is planning reduce the risk of uncertainty. Planning is an activity which enables a manager to look ahead and anticipate changes. Next is planning reduce overlapping and wasteful activities. Planning service is the basis of coordinating the activities and efforts of different divisions, departments, and individuals. Next is planning promotes innovative ideas. So since planning is the first function of management, new ideas can take the shape of the create plan. So syempre, kailangan mo din ng ideas sa pagplano mo. Next is planning facilitates decision making. Planning helps the manager to look in the other future and make a choice from among various alternative course of action. So kailangan pag nagpaplano ka, meron kang titignan mo din yung future kung ano ba itong ginagawa mong plano. Next is planning establishes standards for controlling. Planning involves setting of goals. The entire managerial process is concerned with accomplishing predetermined goals through planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. So, pinakamahalaga talaga yung post-ticon. Kailangan sa pagpaplano, meron kasama talaga ang post-ticon para maayos yung plano mo. Next. Future of planning. Kung may importance, may features of planning. First, planning focus on achieving objectives. Siyempre, pag sinabi natin planning focus on achieving objectives, siyempre, yung plano mo dapat nakapokus siya sa pagiging achievement ng isang business mo. Hindi pwedeng nagiging negative ka agad. So, laging focus ka sa achievement mo sa isang business mo. So, organization are set up with a general purpose in view. Specific goals are set out in the plans along with the activities to be undertaken to achieve the goals. Next, planning is a primary function of management. Planning lies down the best for other function of management. And the next, planning is a pervasive. Planning is required at all levels of management as well as in all departments of the organization. Next. Planning is continuous. Plans are prepared for a specific period of time, maybe for a month, quarter, or a year. Siyempre, pag sinabi natin planning is continuous yan. Tuloy-tuloy yan. Hindi pwedeng magplano ka lang ngayon, tapos palang next na. Pagkatapos isang plano mo, tapos na yun. Hindi. Pag nagplano ka, tuloy-tuloy yan. Pag na-achievement mo na, plano ka na ulit. Okay, yung next. Kung na, ano man yung isang plano mo, hindi nag-work, magplano ka na naman. So, nakalagay dito is specific period of time, maybe for a month, quarter, or a year. Isa kasi pag na-achievement mo na yung isang goals mo sa isang plano, isa kasi a month lang or a year. Next is, planning is futuristic. So, planning is essentially involves looking ahead and preparing for the future. The purpose of planning is to make the future events effectively to the best advantage of an organization. Kasi kung sinabi natin, futuristic, diba? Kasi alam mo na, nakikita mo na yung mangyayari in the future. So, naka-prepare na. So, nagplano ka ngayon, halimbawa nagplano ka ngayon. For example, I'm a student, nagplano ka graduate. So, nakikita ko na, may plano na yun na, okay, pagkatapos ko graduate, ang plano ko is, nasa isang hotel na ako, is nag-work, ganun. So, nandun na ako sa future ko. Next is planning involves decision making. Planning essentially involves choose from among various alternatives and activities. So, syempre, pag nagplano ka, nandun na yung mga gagawin mo na siya. Hindi pa plano lang, walang ginagawa. Next, planning processes. So, syempre, nandito tayo sa planning processes. First is setting objectives. The first and foremost step is setting objectives. Objectives may be the set for the entire organization and each department or unit within the organization. And the next is developing premises. Sabi dito is planning is concerned with the future which is uncertain and very planner is using conjecture about what might happen in the future. With this, a manager should make assumptions and develop it aligned to the company's goals and objectives. Next is identifying alternative courses. Once objectives are set, assumptions are made, then the next step will be to act upon them. Next is evaluating alternative courses. The next step is to weigh the pros and cons of each alternative. Which course will have many variables which have to do with and against each other. The next five is selecting an alternative. This is the real point of decision making. The best plan has been adapted and implemented. Next. Ayan, may types of plans. Meron single-use plan. Pag sinabi natin single-use plan is developed for a one-time event or project. This of course action is not likely to be repeated in the future. Halimbawa, halimbawa ako nagplano. So, isang excuse for activities that occur regularly over a period of time that is designed to ensure that internal operation of an organization runs smoothly. Such a plan greatly enhances efficiency and routine decision making. So, ayun. Thank you so much.